So do you think the Japanese and American styles could merge and make a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat game like they're doing with Street Fighter X Tekken?
I would love that because the one thing for me that's missing from Mortal Kombat is the ability to kill Ken and Ryu, which I enjoy doing very much when I play Street Fighter 4.
A lesson I've learned from Mortal Kombat versus DC is don't put your Mortal Kombat in anything that I love.
Wow.
Because you're just
you keep your Street Fighter out of my Mortal Kombat, it will be okay.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm going to say keep your Mortal Kombat out of my Street Fighter. Street Fighter being the dominant one.
Shazam? No, Shazam. No, I mean, it's so iconic. Like, I couldn't imagine why they wouldn't do it. I dreamed about this ever since I was a kid. I always wanted.
Why it wouldn't work. Street Fighter versus Tekken is going to work because those two worlds, they collide. They mesh. Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter don't work.
Not really, because here's what's going on with Street Fighter versus Tekken. They're each coming out with their own game.
Yep.
So Street Fighter versus Tekken, the Tekken fighters are going to fight Street Fighter style. Tekken versus Street Fighter, they are making all the Street Fighter characters fight like Tekken characters.
That'd be interesting.
So, and the thing is, Capcom versus SNK, and SNK versus Capcom did the same thing. SNK got to make their rebuttal, and then Capcom.
Yeah, but those are also very different. Yeah, those are very different. Like two different genres of fighting, whereas Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter can almost be said, yeah, they're 2D arcade fighters. That's how they should be. You can't really do one differently than the other.
Well, with both games going back to their roots, as much as I would not like to see it, because I do feel like that time has passed. Which is part of the reason why Tekken is still going really well in the 3D universe. And Street Fighter is still going well in the 2D universe.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I feel like when the time came, I mean, you think about these two games, they were on each other's heels. 1991, 1992. Right. Oh my gosh, the two epic fighters. Everyone's going to arcades. Quarter up on these machines, quarter up on these machines. That time, it's not that time anymore.
Ed Boon tried to push that 10 years ago. He actually went to the Street Fighter team, but due to back in the day, that was like super taboo. It never really started happening until just like maybe a few years ago when games started kind of merging with each other. Yeah. And now there's a solid chance of it happening.
And everyone knows that Ed Boon is a big Street Fighter fan, and that's why he made Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So. And well, I mean, if you want to see this happen, there's this little engine called Mugen. shout out to Kurt. Mugen, which is Japanese for infinite. They have characters. People make these characters. They make them. They code them and they skin them. So you can have your Street Fighter versus your Mortal Kombat.
You can, but it's the most broken fighting game of all history.
It's made by 14-year-olds.
Yeah, I know. Deception.
It's not deception. I mean, you can even say Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is broken. There's so many infinites.
Cable,
Iceman. There's Street Fighter. Even Super Street Fighter 4 is like broken. You can jump in, focus cancel, do super, and it's like some characters are so extremely unbalanced, it's not even funny. It's like if your favorite character is like Guy or Gen, there's no way you can put up with a high level.
Well, every single fighting game has its problems. It's going to be broken here and there,
issue, especially when you have so many characters. And each game added more and more.
You also when you look at Mortal Kombat versus DC, there's a lot that was wrong with that game, but you really can't blame Mortal Kombat for that because WB stepped in there, said, no, we're going to do the game this way. They're running out of money. They were looking at bankruptcy, so it's like less and less people on the team. There's a lot going against that game.
Yeah. And now WB's backing them up. They have a lot more money. They give them a lot of time. The game is looking super polished.
Yeah.
I actually went behind scenes at E3. I got to thank Rigo, the community manager at WB, for letting me get some time in, and it took me back to the days of Mortal Kombat 2. It's going to be legitimate.
All right, so we got to wrap this up because this debate's been going for kind of long. Bit. So fanboys for each game, quick.
All right.
3 reasons why Mortal Kombat is better than Street Fighter. Go.
I'm always going to be a Mortal Kombat fan because I think the characters have more depth behind them. I'm a big story gamer, so that does help for me. I'm just sold in the characters. They really give a fighter what they want in their games. Lots of blood, lots of gore, lots of women. Can't go wrong with that.
America.
I like Street Fighter more than Mortal Kombat because the characters have so much more depth. I'm a really story-driven fighting character player. They really give you what you really want.
Wow.
So
lots of women?
Yes.
Cammy.
Yeah.
Cammy,
Chun-Li,
Cammy.
the new jury character.
Cammy.
You can't complain. So next.
Cammy. Cammy?
See, it's
Here
hard
we
for
go,
me to
here we
pick
go.
one because I really do
just pick
like
and
both games.
choose.
I think I would ultimately go with Mortal Kombat. I apologize to both of you.
Fatality.
To be honest, it's just about the imagery and the cool factor. Like,
Yeah.
everyone hated Dante's Inferno versus like God of War, but to me Dante's Inferno was cooler just because of the imagery in the game. And I enjoy Mortal Kombat more because it's just cooler to me. And they ruined Chun-Li in the most recent Street Fighter 4 because her legs are way too buff. I'm sorry, but it's
always
just
have been buff.
giant tree trunk legs.
All right, and Mortal Kombat for me, it's like when I was a kid, ninjas were awesome. I liked Street Fighter, but I couldn't connect with goofy characters. They had to make the black guy a boxer. Then they're like, hey, let's add.
Who was originally based off of Mike Tyson, but they had to change his name because Mike threatened to sue.
Oh, but they can't make a black guy like something else like a Shoto fighter. Hey, let's add
Who
another.
was originally based off of Mike Tyson?
Okay, here, DJ. I'm a Jamaican black guy with maracas.
That's what they do in Jamaica.
I like to dance.
Hey, let's not forget Jax. He was pretty stereotypical. He had the bling on his arms.
Bling on his arm. He was a badass.
His arms were all blinged out.
He was badass. Look, Jax fought to save the
I'll
world.
never look at Jax the same way.
Balrog or M. Bison fought for money. I'm a black guy.
And Stryker
I'm gonna
was a
fight for
fat
money.
cop, a fat white dude cop.
A fat white cop.
Hey, did you not play Mortal Kombat Armageddon? Stryker was a kick-ass character.
Get the fridge out of here.
Stun gun.
All right, moving on.
All right.
You're on your
He's not done.
soapbox.
He's not done.
It's not done.
I've had enough.
Why don't you talk about the opening of Street Fighter 2?
Oh, yeah. Guys, you have that nice little opening shot of Street Fighter? This is like every time I went to the arcade, this is what I saw. I'm a kid. I'm about to play Street Fighter. A blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy socking a black guy in the face. Going down. What is that? One hit. With the glass jaw.
And then,
what does that say?
And then they had to pan away because all his homies came up behind the white dude and shot him in the back. But you didn't see that. It's a street fight, punk. You know what it was.
Street Fight.
And that's why they call it Street Fighter.
Yes.
I get it now.
There you go.
That was it.
You're racially sensitive?
A little bit, man. Like, couldn't the black guy win one of those matches? It's like every time.
But
I'm like, that was sad.
Four
That was
black guys
sad.
in Street Fighter and only one black guy in Mortal Kombat.
But he was
tight.
big and
He was
beefy
dope.
and had
Yeah, you only need
What four
one.
black guys in Street
Yeah,
Fighter?
the black guy, the one black guy. in
Ermac
Mortal
was
Kombat
black in Mortal
who
Kombat
has
3.
a gun and shoots it like that out of his arm. He has a gun with rockets. Side shot. More blacker. Whatever. Anyway, my plea is for Street Fighter. Why? Well, these guys like to say Street Fighter hasn't changed that much, but Street Fighter has had different CPS engines that have fueled other games. Thank you, Seinen, because I didn't even think about that. They've had different fighting engines that have fueled other games, and they have successfully collaborated with other different mediums. Some of my favorite mediums.
Besides
When you look at
Besides film.
like comic books. I mean, the Street Fighter, the movie, the game. The only reason why that was so bad is because it tried to be Mortal Kombat.
Oh, no way.
But you look at Street Fighter versus X-Men, which was great, and that was a great comic book mashup, and it snowballed into something that's so much bigger, and that's why Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is coming out now. It's successful. It's been in several different tournaments, and you look at how it's become more intuitive as it went along, and it does take a ton of skill, and you need to be a good player in order to play and win at Street Fighter.
Same thing with Mortal Kombat.
Let me add one thing that I don't know how none of us have mentioned this before. Mortal Kombat rules because of fatalities.
Yes.
Fatalities,
Fatalities.
brutality.
Yeah.
You just beat them up until they explode into blood and
now
bones.
X-ray moves. X-ray moves. I was at E3. They played that in the theater. Everyone's like, oh! The X-ray moves is the new fatalities.
Yeah, but if fatalities were so good, then games like, what's that one game with Lancer? Or
Gears of War.
No. Time Warriors? What was that other game? It was another game?
They tried and they failed, but Mortal Kombat still went on.
See, in
another
Street
one on
Fighter, you had,
Genesis.
okay, I'm going to punch you like 3 times really quick, you're going to be dizzy, so you know, okay, I'm going to get in there, I'm going to kick your ass. But Mortal Kombat took that and was like, you know what? I'm gonna get you right now.
Last point. Cliff Bleszinski, huge Mortal Kombat fan. Gears of War is heavily inspired by Mortal Kombat, by all the brutality, and now. Oh, you don't think so?
No, I don't care. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I didn't laugh at you. Now Bulletstorm is it's like Mortal Kombat meets first-person shooter. You're impaling guys. You don't think so? You're getting style points for killing.
I don't think I can have a more confused face right now.
More confused face.
All right. Fatalities for the win.
Fatalities.
Okay. So everything sums up to blood, death, and gore. Mortal Kombat is definitely the greater fighter. Bullshit.
So, and Street Fighter does bring good technique, and it is a great 2D fighter that has stayed strong throughout the years.
That's true.
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
I was. So
I was. Wow.
Maybe you two should fight right now.
There you have it.
Do it.
That was our debate for Street Fighter. We're gonna have to figure out how to keep these things under control because it's gonna get out of hand, and I'm sure we're gonna have more in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope we started a few fights with families and divorces. And I hope you continue to talk about this after the show goes off. That was our debate, Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. Until then, geek down.